Let's talk about who's on the revenge tour for Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum this upcoming NBA season, because Joe Mazzulla recently spoke out about how he feels about possibly having a revenge and a chip on the shoulder for both of his star players on the Boston Celtics. I personally think they should be shitting on every team they play this year. I feel like they're the only two players and maybe even the only team that is coming off of winning the championship and then now starting their revenge tour. It doesn't add up. But how their summer went, it looks like they're going to be absolutely menaces on the court. So before I jump in there, I have one quick favor to ask you guys. We are 41 days away from the NBA season starting on October 22nd. New York Knicks versus Boston Celtics. Let's see if we can get 41 new subs here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports and help us grow this channel before the NBA season kicks off, watch parties start, and the Boston Celtics start their journey to win banner 19. Let's talk about what happened to Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown this summer, because honestly, the media had a freaking field day. Jayson Tatum was listed as a did not participate not just once, but twice on the best roster that has ever been established, in my opinion, for Team USA. He and Haliburton played the two fewest minutes on Team USA. Unacceptable. But it's even worse that Jaylen Brown wasn't even on the team in the first place. Yeah, you can go down the rabbit hole and talk about why he really wasn't on the team. That's not what this video is about. This video is the fact there is one common factor between Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, and his name is Steve Kerr, the head coach for Team USA. Obviously has to have something against Tatum and Brown, right? No, probably he doesn't. But I know for a fact that Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, whether they want to say it didn't bother them, it surely did. And I'm actually very glad that it did, because they needed something to say, you know what? You're still not giving me the respect that I earned. You know, Jayson Tatum, when he won the NBA championship, said, what are they going to say now? Well, they found something to talk about. They're coming off their best season they've ever had in their entire NBA career, and nobody wants to see them win. The media doesn't, the league doesn't, Knicks fans sure as hell don't, but I can understand that one. So here's what Joe Mazzulla had to say about Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown heading into this season with a chip on their shoulder after winning the championship. They're going to go about it the way that they want to next season. They're two competitors, and they are who they are. They're two great players. So I'm not going to try to figure out how they're going to go about it. If they want to take revenge on that particular game, that's great for them. What game are you talking about, Joe? Obviously, it's got to be November 6th and January 20th, which is when they take on the Golden State Warriors. In my mind, you've got a couple of competitors, especially in the Eastern Conference. You got the Sixers, you got the Knicks, you got the Cavs. You got some players and some teams that are going to be headhunting for you. But if I'm Tatum and Brown, I am only looking at doing one thing, and that is absolutely shitting on the Golden State Warriors. Let's take it back a couple of months when Jayson Tatum had that first DNP. And he said, look, playing for Team USA, it was a tough personal experience on the court, but I'm not going to make any decision off emotions. If you ask me right now if I was going to play in 2028, it's 4 years from now, and I would have to take time and think about that. Well, we're not talking about Team USA anymore. Now we're talking about the Boston Celtics, a team he plays for all year, every year, since he came into the league. And he had some time to not act off emotions, but now he can act physically. I'm not talking about beating the shit out of Steve Kerr. I'm just talking about beating his team on the court. And I truly do believe that if you have a revenge list of who Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown would like to pop off against, there's one team on there, and it has to be the Golden State Warriors. But they only play them twice in a season because they're on different coasts. So if they play them on November 6th and January 20th, do you think the Boston Celtics are going to sweep the Warriors? Because we've seen Brown and Tatum go absolutely nutty on this team before. We saw it most recently in the last season. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But going ahead, comment if they'll sweep. Go 2-0 against the Warriors this season in the comment section down below. But next, I'm going to preview just a little bit of what the Celtics and Warriors matchup is going to look like, because we know that Jaylen Brown, he's been working out with Steph Curry in the offseason. They're all great friends. But when it comes time to play the Warriors in November, I feel like it's going to be a different story. And if you guys want to go see the Boston Celtics play live against the Warriors, Knicks, Sixers, Cavs, whoever, I highly suggest, no, I'm telling you, Download Game Time, and this is the only app you're ever going to need to get tickets to any sporting event, concert, comedy show that you want to see. The reason why I use Game Time is because they always have the lowest price guarantee, and your girl loves to save money. I never buy anything full price, and the fact that you can see your seats, your view from your seats before you even buy the ticket is phenomenal. It's a little 3D motion, so you can actually interact with it and really get the full scope of, hey, do I really want to sit in section 120, or do I want to go a little bit more and go section 107? I've used Game Time several times, most recently going to AT&T Stadium, not to see the Cowboys, thank God, but to see Zach Bryan, a great artist of mine. I got lowest price guaranteed. I bought it for my boyfriend a year in advance, and in case Zach Bryan said, you know what, I didn't feel like playing at AT&T Stadium, they do offer event cancellation protection, so that is why I use Game Time. I trust them. They're fantastic, lowest price guaranteed, so if you guys want to go ahead and get started, they have another feature that could help you out. It's called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. If you guys want to go see the Red Sox, the Patriots, the Bruins, the Celtics, I highly suggest downloading the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. You can't tell me the Jays aren't going to go off against Steve Kerr. There's no way. They've already done it once, and there really wasn't even any reason to do so, except for the fact that the Golden State Warriors left Jaylen Brown wide open for the three-point line, and it made no sense. So I do respect that Joe Mazzulla said the Jays are going to do what the Jays want to do. That's what a coach should. But let's take it back to a year ago when some random game in March, this had nothing to do with playoff standings, nothing. They absolutely embarrassed the Golden State Warriors, the fully healthy Golden State Warriors, 140-88. This was a game that for some God-known reason, they decided to leave Jaylen Brown wide open from a three-point line, and they blew up. I mean, I had never heard TD Garden that loud through a TV in my life. But now the Warriors roster looks a little bit different from last year. There's no more Klay Thompson. The Splash Brothers are dead, unfortunately. So the Golden State Warriors are really leaning on their two veterans of Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Well, Draymond Green has been known to not really be that impactful because he sometimes doesn't play the full game. He also likes to get thrown out a lot. Jonathan Kuminga, an up-and-coming star. Same with Brandon Podziemski. Andrew Wiggins, not my favorite player on this roster. I think that his best days are behind him, but you never know. There could be another season ahead of him where he proves me wrong. This is a starting five that should absolutely scare the shit out of opponents. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford. There's nothing different about this starting five. They have been playing together for a whole year, whereas the Warriors no longer have Klay Thompson. They've got a couple of new players coming in. They got to adjust. The Celtics already have the upper hand. And like I said, the last matchup, Jaylen Brown shot 50% from downtown. He scored 29 points. And they didn't play the second half. He went nutty. He went 5 for 10 from downtown, all because the Warriors just tested him a little bit. That was just because they decided to leave him open, and that game plan was decided 15 minutes before the game started. Now, you have completely ruined one of his childhood dreams, which is playing for Team USA, and you snubbed him from the team. I can only imagine he's going to take that to heart. But I do believe that even though they played them twice in the regular season, I think it only takes one statement. It only takes a 140-88 game to be like, now we're good. So Joe Mazzulla finished his quote, and he did say, look, revenge can be healthy, and not at the same time. I think just like anything else, you can have a little bit of it, but I think it's a short-term thing. And when that runs out, what are you going to rely on? So yes, I'm glad that the Jays have something on their shoulder to be like, you know what? I want to go out there. I want to prove myself. I want to win the championship again, and I want to prove to people that I'm a better player than a DNP and a snub. But I do agree with Joe Mazzulla in the sense that, look, you got to look at the bigger picture here. You want to go back-to-back. That hasn't been done since 2017. That is the chip you should have on your shoulder the entire season. Once you decide to pop off against the Warriors, guess what? It's going to be November 7th. It's going to be January 21st. The game goes on. There's more opponents. Do your damage and let the revenge tour end. My last comment here for you guys, just because we are so close to NBA season starting up again, predict the Jays stat line versus the Golden State Warriors. What do you think Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum will score, have rebounds, assists? Go on ahead, use your best imagination, drop in the comment section down below. And as always, hit that sub button for me on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. 39,000 loyal subscribers, but we are reaching for more. Go on ahead and subscribe.